I was taught how to survive and what they call the belly of the beast. These fucking streets out here in LA is rough. 9 years old and selling dope. And gave me life. She never told me she loved me. She never told me. What I've gone through is what God had for me to go through, and it's turning me into the person that He's created me to be, which I'm learning now. That also was a dark time for me. That's when I was living on Colden, attending Bret Hart. It was time for me to take a shower, and so my aunt said, go get in the shower, before we eat. So I went to go get in the shower. I was standing in the front, and I had soap in my eyes, so I had my eyes closed, and I heard, him getting in the shower. And then when he just grabbed me, I froze up. I was getting the soap out of my face, but then I froze up because it happened so quickly. It caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting no shit like that. That had me standing there crying and bleeding. Blood's just running down my leg, and I'm just in shock. Because this is my cousin that was teaching me how to ride bikes, teaching me how to play, but his brother was the one teaching me how to survive. His brother had walked in the bathroom, get y'all ass out the shower. What two dudes doing in the shower? You know what I mean? And at that time, it already had happened. And I was standing there shaking and crying, He was trying to make me do him in return, and I wouldn't, because that's not my life. He did what he did. It scarred me mentally, physically, and spiritually. It broke me for a while. He used the intimidation factor so I wouldn't tell. That's where the abuse came in. My cousins used to always sock on me, but he just took it a little further than socking, and it pissed me off. What the fuck is going on in your head to make you want to do some shit like that? I ain't never talked to this dude about it, because for fear of what I might do to him. Yeah, you deal with it, you cope with it, but when you the person, when you the victim, so much shit go through your head, and you still want to fuck somebody else. For me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I still want her to do. But that's when you have to say, okay, God, take this off my heart. Help me to understand why this happened to me. That hasn't came yet, but God has helped me to deal with it. So I'm able to talk about it, because I know somebody out there it just happened to. It can be going through it now. Don't think it's you. Don't think it's your fault. That person is sick. So you pray for that person to get their shit together, because that's wrong to violate someone's privacy like that and to hurt him, especially another male, bro. Come the fuck on, bro. You could have done something different and just not done that, period, bro. My aunt said I should talk to him about it, but only when she was around, because she know my anger and where it could go. I still battle with that to this day. I just push it in the back of my mind, and I don't hate the dude. You gotta love him because it's family. You gotta love everybody that hurts you. That's what it says in the Bible. So, it's not to my understanding. So, you know, I see the dude, I talk to him, but when he get close to me, I scoot away, you know, because sometimes I still freeze up. I don't freeze up like something's gonna happen, but that's why I started beating people up. I couldn't allow anybody to get in my circle anymore, get close to me. Somebody that I trusted got in the shower with me and came up and got me from the back. I can't turn my back on nobody again. So it brought a lot of trust issues, you know, and it sends you on this path. And then being in foster homes, and motherfuckers trying to do it there. Like this one dude on me, like, you a grown ass man, I'm a kid, and you put me in a tub, asshole naked, for what? I don't need to see your parts, dude. I'm not into men like that. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, you know, this dude did that a lot. So I'm like, oh no, in my mind, I'm like, damn, this shit is not gonna happen again. I'll be damned if somebody, another man do some shit to me. Fuck that. Bet. So, I had everything on, my pants, my shoes, my socks, and everything. My bags was packed, everything. This motherfucker come in again, talking about getting a tub. I'm like, I already took a bath. He was like, all right. He turned around and walked out. As soon as he walked out and he went in this room, I threw my shirt on, my jacket, and I was up out that motherfucker. I went straight out the window and got on and went back to the homies in the hood. And I stayed with them until I found my mama again. But now I can talk about it because I may have not talked to the person that done it to me, but I can speak to someone else that's going through it and be able to understand them and not ridicule or put them down and make it seem like they less than or it was their fault because some sexual shit happened to them that they couldn't fucking control. So, yeah, enough of that shit. When I was selling drugs to my mom, made me feel bad as a person. It took my life away. It made me not feel emotions, made me not understand what I was going through. I hated myself for doing it. She, you know, after I would make it or whatnot, you know, make it up, whatever, cut it up, and pack, you know, put it in a plastic or whatever I had to do to sell it. My mom would be there, and I knew she was on it and she wanted it all the time. She would pace and pace and pace and pace, and she had this look, and she'll come to me with her money. And I would just look at her like another client. Like, this is not my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just a base head, just like on some dumb shit. Like, yeah, I felt like I was killing her, like, you know what I mean, when they was finding her. I felt responsible for it because, you know, this is the lady that gave me life, and how much respect do you have selling somebody some stuff like that, you know, that's deteriorating their body, you know, the cause and effects, because I've always been smart to know what I was doing, to know what it was. You know, that first hit sparked her, and then she just never turned back, you know. My mom was a registered nurse, you know. It took life out of her, like it took my cousin away from me. But to sell it to her, just, I felt less than, like I just didn't want to live anymore. I don't know. It was just like the utmost disrespect, and it was like, That's why my life was kind of hard because of it. And you go, okay, what kind of person is that to sell dope to his mom? But I'm human, you know. It hurt me because she was on it. I was frustrated, and that's how I released my anger to the streets. I didn't understand. I didn't have anybody coming to say, hey, well, go pray. Hey, go do this. Even though my mom said it sometimes. My mom was kind of spiritual, but I didn't know then what I know now. The drugs had an effect, caused an effect on her mind. So a lot of things, she was gone. And so I sold that to keep food in the house so we wouldn't go to foster homes, my sister and myself, and to kind of pay rent and to pay her debt.
I met Tyrrell, I want to say maybe 98 or so, between 98 and 99 at Langston University, a historically black college in Oklahoma, in the real country. Literally, Walmart was a treat if we was able to go. That's how country it really was. Yeah, I met him at Langston though, black college, and we're actually from here, which is interesting. We actually from LA, but we met out of town, so it's a great situation. I met Tyrrell at a different space in his life. Like he wasn't in the Denzel phase when I met him. He was on the street level phase. So he was in college really to save his life. I'm gonna be honest from what I really think. I think college saved his life. He came there as a different person, and he evolved as time went on. So it went from this guy right here could shoot up the whole college to he loved the whole college. He left in a different space and he came. I mean, well, when he first came, he was really a street guy. We're not gonna go on what levels in depth, but I was scared to be his friend for the first 2 weeks. But I mean, I got past it because I'm from the inner city too. I'm from Compton or whatever. So I'm a street guy, but I ain't got no record. I mean, I ain't shot a starter pistol at a track meet. But I'm kind of tough though, but not really though. It's just it's one of them type things. But Tyrrell really evolved over time. I noticed that, I seen him matriculating and growing as a professional. And college is supposed to do that to you. It's supposed to make you develop and, become a better person. And he definitely evolved into a star that he was before he got there. He just found himself, I believe, out of town, as I did as well. I started comedy in Oklahoma, doing it professionally. So I actually get it. So we both, God put us there for a reason. So it's beautiful. It's been a beautiful situation. I love Tyrrell. I actually had the opportunity to actually see Tyrrell in action. See, for me, I'm a visual guy, so you could tell me a lot of things, but I actually saw him in a soldier story. He did a play in Guthrie, Oklahoma, near the college that we went to. So, he came and we were roommates also. So he came and told me that he was in a play, and I always support a brother that's worth supporting anyway, because I'm all about positivity. So there was never an issue if I was going to support him or not. The issue was he serious about his craft? Well, I went and saw him, and he was absolutely remarkable. Like, I mean, I'm really a fan of his, and that's no secret. I actually went 2 nights in a row. So, I mean, he didn't ask me to go the second night. He invited me the first night. I went the second night because I just wanted to see it again. And I've always been a big fan of theater because it requires a different level of talent and discipline more than anything else. There's no room for improvisation or any of that like I can do in comedy. I can fill in blanks where the crowd won't even know. But what he does, they have to be at certain marks, and it's just very structured. So I've always been a big fan of it, always.
real now. When I have auditions, I just kind of zone out. Sometimes I get excited, sometimes I don't. It depends on what the production is. For the most part, I go into a deep thought process in my brain and try to figure the character out, try to figure certain things out that I need to portray to the people, producer, director, who's ever there in the audition, whoever it may be. I feel good a lot, you know what I mean? It keeps me going when I have auditions. You know, it's something that you look forward to as an actor. Like when you don't have them and it's like dead silence and you're not really getting any auditions, you don't feel like you're doing anything in life. So when they do come, sometimes you do get excited, like, oh wow, I ain't had an audition in a while, so let me get this. So, but for the most part, I feel great about them. Like, you know, because it's like, okay, this is another opportunity for me to get closer and closer to my goal of being on the top as a great actor. I like to come here and just help myself to focus on where I know I'm going to be, where I'm end up, and my name right here. That's why it's blank. I'm gonna say Tyrrell L. Yeah, that part. So if you can't visualize it, you won't have it. You know what I mean? I know I'm successful. I know I'm destined for greatness. So right here, so people know that I was here. I did something. It's a compliment. It's a goal. It's one of my achievements, and it's gonna happen. Trust and believe that. My name up right here. That's all it is. It's faith. It's called faith, y'all. What I love about Hollywood is that it's kind of, I call it Holly weird, because there's so much that goes on. There's so many different things that come together that people create. So what's weird to other people may not be to the person that created. So everything in Hollywood is kind of unique. Action film, I want to do drama, I want to do all genres. I don't want to just limit myself to just one. You know what I mean? I want to be typecast. I want to do everything, and I will do everything. I know what my purpose is, I know what my gift is, so I don't give up. You can tell me all you want. I'm not gonna stop, because what God has for me, no man can stop. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm gonna keep going. So if somebody tells you to stop, ignore them. Tell them to fuck off, straight up. Whatever, because it's your life and it's not theirs. So if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to be around me. You don't have to be a part of it. That's what I do. I know what God has for me, so yeah, I get excited, yeah, I get happy, but I channel it all, bring all that energy here so that I can focus. So, I mean, this is what I'm built to do, so, you know, my happiness is just being in front of the camera, so. I found out about that in 2006. I was in Oklahoma. I was working at this place called Midco Fabrications, where I did like some welding. We did the big old tanks. We filled them up with air and water pressure. But in any event, I got sick. You know what I mean? So I went to the hospital. I wasn't feeling good. So, you know, they ran a couple of tests or whatnot, and they seemed like I had something. So they did some biopsies, you know, and they did an exam, and then they come back to me and they say, well, you have Crohn's disease. So I was about maybe like 175, and I left out of the hospital that time like at 90 pounds, and I was in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I was terrified because I didn't know what Crohn's disease was. I have an uncle that had it, but I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was. So they were saying it's stress-induced, and you get it's a Jewish disease. I just heard all type of things, you know, until you go do research for yourself. You know, anything to scare you, you know. So yeah, I went through a bad time with that, and I still deal with it to this day, you know. So yeah. 2006, that's when I was diagnosed with it, and I just cope with it, you know. It's just something, when I was first diagnosed, I couldn't deal with it, you know what I mean, because I was like, oh no, this is going to take me out, it's going to take me down, it's going to keep me from doing, because it has complications, you know, it stops you from doing certain things. But I just, I'm headstrong, mentally strong, so, and I have God, so it's not going to bother me. At first it did in the beginning, but now I'm learning to live with it. You know, it causes complications for us, your GI tract and your muscles, your joints, and you know, you have a lot of problems with your stomach, you know, eating and keeping things down. It just run right through you. Like, as soon as you eat the shit, it's gone. So, yeah, 2006. So, hey, everybody got something. Everybody got baggage, whatever. You got to deal with it. It's the card I have. I just have to play it the right way. That's it. Gain strength from God, from going through those trials and tribulations. Nothing can hold me back after what I've been through in my life. It's predestined. I'm predestined for greatness. Despite of what I've been through, I can still walk around with a smile. I'm me, Tyrrell L. Collins.
They say music calm the savage beast. It's a must I eat, cause I can't be tamed. Wilder than that thing. Watch it transfer.